All right, we're just a couple of moments away from tip-off of the 5A championship, UIL State Championship basketball action. It's the boys, presented by State Farm. We're here at the Irwin Center, and I'm Jeff Power. And I tell you, Converse Judson is in the state championship game, of course, to battle the North Shore Mustangs out of that greater Houston area in Galena Park ISD. And Converse Judson known as kind of a football power. In fact, both of these teams known as football power. It's about to duke it out on the basketball court. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you know, if you think about the Wacker family, it's been a great story, no question about it, as we roll some of the highlights of Converse Judson and their big win yesterday. And this is a team that beat Allen. They've got the size down low. They can beat you in so many different ways. David Wacker, the son of Mike Wacker, he is the third son to play for Mike Wacker. So great job by him yesterday's performance, 11 points. Tony Allen, watch out for him. He had 18 points against Allen, and they won that game rather handily. Converse Judson kind of pulled away in the second half in this battle against Galena Park North Shore, something they've been looking forward to. In fact, we just caught up with Mike Wacker. He was talking to his team a few moments ago. Let's listen in and hear what the former Longhorn had to say.
How many teams are playing? Two. You're one of those teams. So you got a great opportunity. You got an unbelievable thing right in front of you. It's not going to take much, but play the way that you've been playing. I want to thank you for the last couple of months. It's been a very special time to me. It's a very, very special time for each one of you, because we're a very special team. I love you guys. Let's go get it. Let's go. Let's go.
Guys, go, baby.
All right. We believe in
Rocket Pride.
There you go. Mike Wacker wears his emotions on his sleeve. You'll know exactly how he's feeling throughout this game. All right, we're getting ready for tip-off. Let's send it over to Craig Way and Jim Howler for more on the call.
Thanks very much, Jeff Power, and we are ready for the 5A Boys State Basketball Championship. It's just like what Jeff said. You know, normally when you think of North Shore and Judson, you do think of football power and that football brand. But I will tell you this, Mike Wacker's had his team in the Final Four a couple of times, in the state championship once way back in 1993, had a heartbreaking loss in the semifinals to a T.J. Ford-led Fort Bend Willoridge team in 2001. So, Jim, he knows about it, and yet what we're going to see tonight, I guess, is a bit of a contrast of styles.
Craig, we've got two contrasting styles, as you mentioned. You can't play fast enough for Galena Park North Shore. They run a great trapping full court defense that's very, very effective. But the key to the game, no doubt about it, how will Converse Judson handle that pressure defense? Converse Judson has the size advantage. Galena Park North Shore has the speed and athleticism advantage.
And one thing certainly that Mike Wacker wants to do is control the pace of the game and use his bigs, including his own son, David.
Well, they've got to find a way to get the ball in the paint. Galena Park North Shore does a terrific job of playing passing lanes. They're very quick. They're very smart. They'll play tough man-to-man defense the whole way.
The North Shore Mustangs forced 26 turnovers to rally from a 7-point third-quarter deficit last night to win their semifinal game and defeat DeSoto yesterday afternoon. Then the night game saw Converse Judson advance, and they kind of slowly pulled away from Allen, a very good Allen team, from mid-third quarter. Both these teams kind of turned into
and what happened at halftime, Coach Wacker literally said, guys, we got to start taking advantage of our height. We've got to get it in the paint. All of a sudden, they started making high post to low post passes, executing perfectly, eliminated a few turnovers, and excelled in the fourth quarter.
So what are the keys to this game? What turns this game one way or the other?
Well, I think it's really one segment and one segment only. If Converse Judson can handle the full court pressure, I think they've got the personnel to win their first state championship. But that's a big if. You're going to see a very, very effective pressing team in North Shore.
The North Shore Mustangs also have been to a state championship before, but they lost it. So one of these two teams is going to win its first ever 5A basketball state championship. It's time for the Ford starting lineups, presented by Ford, the best in Texas. And for the Judson Rockets, Tanner Leisner, David Wacker, Rayshawn Wynn, Julian Erickson, and Tony Allen. Leisner and Wacker really the keys to that Judson attack.
Well, they average 26 points per game between them. They average 15 rebounds between them. They are a very dominant force, but they've got to get the ball offensively for Judson to be at their best.
And for the North Shore Mustangs, you see Kerwin Roach, Jeray Foster, Brandon Etienne, Jalen Hart, and Brandon Green and a real balanced attack for North Shore.
Well, that's true. It is balanced, but Roach and Foster combined for 29, 16, and 13. They're very, very good. Same thing. Can they get the ball inside and be effective against the bigger post players for Converse Judson?
You see big 33 there, David Wacker, the son of head coach Mike Wacker, and there you get a look at the North Shore Mustangs, 34-3, went 11-1 in District 21 5A, and then in the playoffs defeated Pasadena Rayburn, won that one handily. In fact, won that one by 34. They beat Fort Bend Elkins in the area round by 28. Got a little tougher in the regional quarterfinal round with a 7-point win over Manville. Won by 23 in the Sweet 16 over Cy Lakes. And then that 2-point win over Fort Bend Bush in the Region 3 final to get them here to Austin.
Well, that was an incredible victory, and Coach David Green has so much experience in situations like this. Remember, Coach Green, this is the 4th different school he has brought to the state tournament. Both of these coaches tonight have great experience. There will be nothing that surprises the coaching staff, and in their eyes, they hope they've prepared their teams to not be surprised by anything.
For the Judson Rockets, the #1 team in the state, they're 37-1. They went a perfect 10-0 in their district. Their only loss, in case you're wanting to know, way back early in the season to Westlake High School from here in the Austin
and that
area.
was in one of the most prestigious tournaments in America, the McDonald's Texas Invitational down in Pasadena. And that was a great victory for Austin Westlake. But Coach Wacker said that taught our team so much. They came back and, in effect, won the consolation championship after dropping that first game. And he's convinced that helped make them the team they are now.
They haven't lost since. They won by 26 over San Antonio LBJ in the by-district round, beat Cibolo Steel by 23 points in the area. Got pushed a little bit by Churchill in the regional quarterfinal, 11-point win. Blasted Edinburgh North by 23 points, rather about 33 points in the regional semifinal round, an 11-point win over San Antonio Madison in a district rematch in the regional final, and then won in the state semifinal last night over the Allen Eagles 52-41.
Craig, both these ball clubs come in with great momentum. Galena Park North Shore's won 16 in a row. Converse Judson, they've won 32 in a row or so. I mean, this is going to be a terrific matchup between two very, very well-coached and disciplined ball clubs.
Well, we're just about ready to go, and Jim, the other thing that we always take note of is the officials who work this championship game, they earned their way to get the call for 3 years to work in the state tournament as well.
Well, and this is quite a feather in the cap for these three gentlemen working tonight from right here in the Austin chapter. Henry Lewis, Matt Martinez, and Dale Warnkin. As you say, they earned their way to call this 5A state championship game. I thought it was interesting in the 3A championship game this morning, the three officials that worked the 8:30 game last night were rewarded to come back and work the 10 a.m. game this morning. So these officials work just like the players do.
Well, we're ready to go. And David Wacker will stand in the center circle to jump for Judson. Jeray Foster for North Shore, and the 5A state title game is underway with the Mustangs controlling the tip.
Well, Converse Judson will play a lot of matchup zone defense. It'll be interesting to see how they try to corral the quicker Galena Park North Shore Mustangs.
Jalen Hart puts in the first bucket, and here comes that pressure, Jim, you spoke of. Judson looks as though they can handle it so far. Into the front court is Rayshawn Wynn.
Well, the key in my eyes for Judson, if they can get the ball out of trouble to David Wacker, he's a very good passer and sees the open man exceptionally well. You can see Converse Judson wants to be patient on offense, very obvious.
On the dribble, Julian Erickson really being pushed by Jalen Hart. Now it's to Wacker, trying to make the low post move and unable to get it. The follow try off the mark there for Leisner. And the rebound to North Shore.
Well, David Wacker had the shot he wanted, just missed the kiss off the glass.
Mustangs trying to prevent the turnover and do. Nice save inbounds by Jeray Foster. Brandon Etienne. Opening minutes of the 5A final. The three-pointer not there for Foster, and the rebound to Leisner for Judson.
Well, Jeray Foster, second leading scorer on this Galena Park North Shore Ball Club, averaging 13 per game.
Rayshawn Wynn running the point now to Tony Allen. Allen had a big game in the semifinal, 18 points last night, and Allen knocks down the three-pointer.
Well, taking up where he left off from last night's ball game, he was the definite key to victory. He only averages 9 points per game during the season, but had 18 last night, as you said, Craig.
3-2, the lead for Judson here in the early stages. Kerwin Roach, and a long three. That one rattles out for Brandon Green. Leistner the rebound for the Rockets.
Now here where you got to watch it when they start double teaming, but they picked up the foul. Nice job there by Julian Erickson, who had a really nice game last night also for the Rockets.
Brandon Etienne picked up the foul with the pressure there. And the Rockets with possession.
Erickson with the ball. Not only is he a good ball handler, but he hit 2 3-point shots last night to really help the Rockets.
Wynn, Wacker. The bucket won't count. There was a foul on the floor prior, and it's against North Shore. So the David Wacker basket will not count. The foul is on Brandon Green, his first. So the Rockets inbound. And it's out to Wacker. Leistner, good ball moving out to Allen for the three. That one won't fall down.
Well, you can see a good indication there. If the Rockets can throw it up high to Leistner and Wacker, good things can happen. But how about that transition game by the Mustangs? Well, they got the ball down the floor fast.
Well, you said it, Jim, that they're definitely going to try to get the tempo up, and Kerwin Roach was able to take it down.
Well, a nice job using the glass in traffic.
Erickson working it to Rayshawn Wynn. Now to Wacker. And outside, Erickson. Three-pointer not there.
Well, that was the exact spot he hit the ball, the three balls from last night.
A floater will not fall for Green, and the Rockets with possession.
Nice defensive rebound by Leistner that time, positioning himself well.
North Shore with a 1-point advantage. And the pass almost taken away. Rayshawn Wynn prevented the turnover. Erickson. That three doesn't fall, but Leistner there for the putback.
Good job by Leistner, good putback. He had a terrific game on the boards last night. 10 rebounds in that contest, including 3 off the offensive glass.
Judson with the lead. Would you say that the pace, however, is a little more to North Shore's liking in the early moments?
Well,
here?
in the transition, but in the half court, they have not been able to force Judson out of that patient offense.
Floater this time from the elbow, not there. The offensive rebound follow try also off the mark for Jere Foster.
Well, another good defensive rebound for Leistner.
But the steal right back for Roach.
Well, that happened about 5 or 6 times last night. Kerwin Roach, their leading scorer, also their leading defender. That's what ate DeSoto up last night. Quick hands, quick feet, lethal combination.
Now to Wacker. Good position in the low post, but unable to get the shot to fall.
See, Craig, they're getting the shots they want. That's 2 good shots that David Wacker's missed in the paint that he's normally going to make.
Now North Shore in the half-court set with Jalen Hart. Hart with a long-range three. Well off the mark there, but an offensive rebound. The bucket on the putback is there for Jere Foster, and he draws the foul.
Well, you see, it's quite evident that the Mustangs have the green light. If they think they can take and make the 3 ball, they have the right to shoot it because they're so good on the offensive glass. I talked to David Green about that. He thinks that's one of their real strengths, going hard to the offensive glass.
8-5, North Shore with the early lead. The UIL Boys 5A State Basketball Championship is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Enjoy all the best savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By DQ. For the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas, DQ just tastes better. And by State Farm. Visit texas.statefarm.com to get to a better state. Free throw is there as well.
Well, that was the first free throw of the ball game, 4.5 minutes in. Good, clean game so far.
So North Shore with the early advantage. Jalen Hart picks up the foul. Leishner. And behind the screen, three-pointer for Allen.
Boy, what a tournament Tony Allen's having, just burying every open shot he gets.
Rockets back within one.
That's great spacing on the part of Judson that time, getting the ball in the hands of their premier perimeter shooter.
That one short by Kerwin Roach, and Judson with the rebound, and the pressure creates the turnover. Trying the three again short, but an offensive rebound right back to Kerwin Roach. Judson really trying to clog up the middle and not allow that dribble penetration.
Yeah, they do a nice job on that, matching up in their zone defense. They'll look like they're playing a man-to-man, but they're actually spotting up in a zone.
Outside is Jalen Hart. Dumps it inside for the two by Foster.
Well, nice job by Foster. That's a real skill. Come meet the pass, move well without the basketball. Big bucket.
There's all the pressure and backcourt being applied by the Mustangs, but the Rockets break it. David Wacker in the corner, wide open again. Allen missed it this time, and Leicester mistimed the leap, so the rebound to North Shore.
Yeah, Foster with a nice defensive board to get the transition game started. You let the Mustangs get in the open floor, they are almost unstoppable. They know how to finish.
Jalen Hart finished that time, and now another Rocket turnover as the pass is picked off by Foster, who is then fouled by Julian Erickson.
See what Galena Park North Shore does so well? They bait you, and they'll cut right into that passing lane. You don't see them, but then all of a sudden they're there, just so quick and using their athletic ability.
There's the foul. So a 5-point lead for the Mustangs. Late first quarter.
The Mustangs press, Craig, is not frenetic. Everything is planned. They're rotating. Look at those drives to the basket using that speed and quickness.
ATN on that drive to the hoop, and now it's a 7-point advantage with a little 6-0 run, another turnover. Here come the Mustangs. In the paint, that knocked out of the hands, however, of Jeray Foster. And in transition, Rayshawn Wynn for the Rockets. Judson trying to get something going. Kendall Hayes.
Now, Kendall Hayes made some nice passes last night. Need to get him to make the entry pass to the post.
Leicester inside to Wacker. That's what they want to do.
And last night in the second half, see, that was high post to low post. That's extremely difficult to defend. Converse Judson does it very well. They just need to get in position to do it more often. That's where they have the advantage in this game.
David Wacker's first bucket of the ball game. Rockets back within 5. And it looks as though the Mustangs will hold for a final shot.
Well, obviously there's no shot clock in high school basketball, so North Shore has the luxury of just holding it now with a 5-point advantage late in the first quarter.
Kerwin Roach to Brandon Green, and it's Green's turn to cradle the basketball on his right hip. You see the time, down to 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Each player looking to head coach David Green for the instruction. Roach now with 10 to go in the quarter. From the right elbow, pretty jumper by Roach.
Yeah, terrific job using that high post screen. Great execution to end the first quarter for the North Shore Mustangs.
The wings, Kerwin Roach and Jeray Foster, a big part of it. 11 of the Mustangs, 17 points, and at the end of the first quarter of the boys' 5A state basketball championship, Galena Park North Shore leads Converse Judson 17-10. It's the UIL 5A State Basketball Championship presented by State Farm. Craig Way, the coach, Tim Haller with you. We begin the second quarter from the Frank Irwin Center in Austin. where the North Shore Mustangs from the Galena Park ISD in the greater Houston area lead the Converse Judson Rockets of the greater San Antonio area 17-10. Judson, the #1 team in the state, 37-1 coming in, but down 7. And the pass from Wacker into Leisner, a little too much on it, and a turnover, their 5th of this first half.
Well, I like the thought coming out of that quarter timeout. Another try from high post to low post. The good pass would have had the basket.
The North Shore with the possession and the 7-point advantage. Brandon Green. Out to Kerwin Roach at 6 first quarter points for North Shore. Jeray Foster. And from the elbow, that shot off the mark by Brandon Etienne, and the rebound to Judson. Allen to David Wacker. Wacker going to try to go strong to the hoop himself and got it to go down.
Well, that's what he needs to do. Go ahead and take it. The ball kind of slipped out of his hands, but it was a good, effective slip, pulling Judson within 5. 6 of the 12 points for the Judson Rockets are from 3-point range. The 2 by Allen, 2 3 balls by Allen.
Trying to drive in now. Nice move with the left hand off the glass for Foster.
See, every one of these North Shore Mustang players can take it tough to the bucket. They know how to put the ball on the floor and make something happen.
Judson breaking the press. Win in the corner to Allen for 3. That one no good. And the Mustangs with it. Derek Burks off the bench. A bounce underneath in traffic. And a nice soft one-hander from Foster.
Boy, Jeray Foster hitting on all cylinders here tonight, making the nice silky smooth moves in the paint.
A 9-point lead now for the Rockets, and the floater off the mark for Rayshawn Wynn. North Shore has the tempo at its liking right now. In the paint, Roach shot off the mark. Leisner looked like he was banged up a little bit as the bodies fell in the paint. That's going to be a foul called against the Mustangs.
Well, that's one of the few times tonight where the Mustangs have had the advantage in transition and not converted. They've got great speed and they use it very effectively.
Derek Burks had the foul called. Jim, one thing we've seen is we talked about how North Shore likes to get the ball up and down the court, and yet one has to be impressed with how they're kind of picking their spots. They've been methodical, and then when they want to really push the pace, they do.
That's a good way to put it. They're so athletic. They're explosive when they need to be.
Rockets with it. Nice no-look pass, and yet Wacker had it knocked out of bounds. A pretty move there quickly by Brandon Green to knock it out of bounds.
Well, and there was that speed and quickness. Get there to get the deflection off of Wacker. Looked like it was going to be an easy bucket.
Into Allen. That won't go. Leisner with a follow off the mark, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, the Rockets are missing some easy shots that they normally knock down. On the season, Craig, this Converse Judson team shot 53% from the field, which is just phenomenal, but that has not happened here tonight.
Here's Leisner on the line and hit the first free throw. The foul's on Chukwumeke Ebule, who just checked in at junior forward.
So far tonight, the North Shore Mustangs are shooting 50% from the field. The Judson Rockets 33% from the field.
2 free throws for Leisner. The Rockets down 7.
Leisner will be playing his college basketball next year at the University of New Hampshire. David Wacker will be playing at Boise State in the Mountain West Conference.
From the elbow, nice turnaround jumper knocked down by Derek Burks.
Boy, that was a smart play, placing him right there in the middle of that matchup zone, freed up the good look at the shot.
Into the front court, Kendall Hayes. Tony Allen cut off at the baseline. And back out front to Julian Erickson.
Boy, that was terrific defense on the baseline by Brandon Green. Look at him covering out front on Hayes. Great footwork.
Allen still on the dribble and lost the dribble. North Shore with that defensive pressure, forcing the 6th turnover this first half against the Rockets.
Yeah, and what happens there, they never let you get comfortable. You never know when they're going to double team you, when they're going to jump up into the passing lane. That's 6 turnovers now for Converse Judson, which is very rare for them to have that many this early in a ball game.
A 9-point lead for North Shore. Brandon Green. This is what we're talking about when the Mustangs can look very, very patient and then all of a sudden explode to the hoop.
Well, when they find a crack in the defense, they go.
Pretty move inside, and that one is good by Imule.
Boy, that was a nice, smart move. Checked the defense, had good control of his body.
11-point advantage. Erickson to Kendall Hayes and had the ball knocked loose. Hayes got it back. Erickson. That doesn't go. Wacker, the offensive rebound. The follow not there, but David Wacker will be on the line.
Boy, terrific hands by Wacker there, retrieving that hard offensive rebound in traffic. Got to be impressed with that. Craig, you'll appreciate this. We'll take a look here at this nice play by Wacker off the offensive glass. Going to the charity stripe. I mentioned a while ago he's going to Boise State. Coach Wacker told me one of the big reasons his son made that decision was because Danny Henderson, who coached at Flower Mound Marcus so long, has been a good friend of the family, and now he's the top assistant at Boise State. He said that played a big role in David going there. Had narrowed his decision to Nebraska and Boise State.
So he'll be a Boise State Bronco next season, but right now he's trying to get the Rockets past the Mustangs as North Shore is up 9, midway mark of the second quarter. Ibule, by the way, picked up that last foul, and he's out there playing with 2 personals. Straightaway 3 off the mark for Roach. Judson a rebound, but once more the pressure in backcourt, just knocked out of bounds by Ibule. So it'll be Rocket ball after the timeout with 3:40 to go here in the first half. It's Galena Park, North Shore of the greater Houston area. A 9-point lead on the Converse Judson Rockets from just north of San Antonio. Coming up at halftime, it'll be the fourth halftime show. A look back at state championship Saturday. All a brand new state title is crowned this afternoon and this evening, and one more still to be crowned. North Shore leading Judson 25-16, and Jim, you're saying the big guys have got to get involved for the Rockets.
Well, they have got to get more touches, that's for sure, but the Mustangs of Galena Park North Shore are not letting them get those passes in there. They're harassing the perimeter, making it so tough to see the open pass.
Rayshawn Wynn nearly lost the dribble. Now works it to Wacker. Back across the floor, Julian Erickson, as they try to find something inside against that North Shore defense.
That was a nice job by David Wacker to reverse the basketball that time, but they still could not free up their perimeter players for the shot.
In fact, an offensive foul called for Julian Erickson, who was trying to balance himself and extended the arm, and that's why he was called for his second personal.
Well, that's a tough break for the Rockets because he's a big part of their game plan. Terrific ball handler, and he's a good outside shooter, but he has not been able to get the open shot like he did last night. They double team him on the wing.
Sprinting down the lane, that shot off the mark by Jalen Hart. David Wacker the rebound for the Rockets. Into the corner, Leiston dumps it to Wacker inside and then lost his balance going up and had it tipped out of his hands.
Well, nice harassing defense when he made that first step. They were right there, the white shirts of the Mustangs.
Into the corner and pulling it back out front is Brandon Etienne. David Green telling his team to be patient right now with a 9-point lead getting to the late stages of the half.
What he was hoping was that Judson would come out and pressure, but they're smarter than that. They're going to hang back. But when you do that now, a 9-point deficit, you're just letting the team decrease the time to catch up.
And one attempt at a steal by Rayshawn Wynn. North Shore content to just weave it back and forth right now without pressure on the ball. Now from the foul line, that shot not there, and the rebound Leisner as it was missed by Etienne.
Well, that was a high percentage shot, one they're usually going to make.
Working it to David Wacker. Inside, reverse side for the bucket.
Nice job of using his body to shield the defense. Drop that left leg. Nice move by David Wacker. They just need to keep getting it in there more. Galena Park North Shore has 16 fouls. Get it inside and get them in foul trouble.
6 in the quarter, 8 in the ball game for David Wacker. 7-point North Shore advantage. And then driving in, that'll be a foul, and that'll be on Leisner, as Roach was driving hard to the hoop, and Tanner Leisner picks up his first.
Boy, such a quick move. When they see the advantage, they go to the bucket, and they go hard. Watch Roach here with this quick move. Great elevation on the shot attempt. He's an outstanding athlete, 6'3" junior. He shot 58% from the floor for the season. This young man's a terrific offensive talent.
Brandon Green back on the floor. Dorrance Armstrong checks out. Now for the Rockets, Chad Flowers.
Roach and Foster, the two leading scorers for the Mustangs, have combined for 15 of their 25 points so far here tonight.
1 out of 2 for Kerwin Roach. That's his first point of the second quarter after scoring 6 in the opening period. Trouble in the backcourt, Kendall Hayes breaking the pressure and into the front court.
You know, it looks like Converse Judson's a slow-down team, but that's far from the truth. They've scored over 100 points a couple of times this year. How about that drive right there by Rayshawn Wynn? Terrific move. They need to keep being aggressive in attack.
His first bucket of the night, and it pulls the Rockets to within 6. And North Shore now appears content to work for a final shot.
Well, you can see the Judson Rockets packing it back in the paint where they cannot penetrate. They're going to force them to take an outside shot. There's always a great debate. Should there be a shot clock in high school basketball? In my eyes, this is a good reason why you should have it.
Down to 6 seconds. Roach, no, there. But at the buzzer, another try off the mark by Jeray Foster. North Shore sprinted out to an 11-point lead, but Judson closing the first half on a 6-1 run. They're back to within 6 at the end of the first half. The North Shore Mustangs lead the Judson Rockets 26-20. The 4 and a half time show coming up. Jeff Power, Neil Raphael will recap all 5 of the previous games this afternoon and tonight on State Championship Saturday.
And welcome to your Ford halftime show. Alongside Neil Raphael, I'm Jeff Power. Great basketball here, 26-20. North Shore surprising Converse Judson right now here at the Irwin Center, a 5A action for you. And we're going to take a look at all of the championships throughout the day today and get you kind of caught up to speed. But let's start off talking about this game, first of all, Neil, because this one has been kind of back and forth, a little surprised with the fact that North Shore has had some trouble maybe getting, or Judson's had trouble getting back when North Shore's pressing.
Yeah, transition defense, and North Shore's done a great job of getting in the lane. The lane's been wide open for them, and they've been scoring at the rim. Off to a great start.
What do you think about the second half? Things that maybe Judson needs to do to get back in at down 6?
I think they're going to have to make sure they get one person back, maybe 2 to stop the ball in transition. That's the number one thing in transition is getting the ball stopped. They're going to have to do a better job on the glass as well.
Yeah, David Wacker, he's kind of their go-to man. We'll see what he can do. Of course, he's headed to Boise State. He is the son of Mike Wacker, and I know they're talking it up at halftime right now. Hey, great storylines all day long. The Johnson family, certainly one of them. Let's talk about what the 4A champions in Kimball Kimball did. This was an amazing performance. Kimball battling Amarillo High. I think a lot of people are surprised that Amarillo got this far, don't you think, Neil?
Yeah, I think so, and they played fairly well in the first half, but the athleticism of Kimball just broke them down in the second.
Yeah, Dallas Kimball loaded with talent. I mean, check out some of these dunks. I mean, there was no question about it. They came to play. That was D'Angelo Allen on that one dunk. Here's another alley-oop for you underneath. That's Trenton Brinkley. And it was that kind of game as Dallas Kimball would go on to win it. Final thoughts about this one real quick. What did you see in Kimball that you like so much?
Oh, wow. Once Kimball got in transition, was able to run the floor with numbers, they totally dominated, and they played above the rim, as you saw.
And how about the story right there? Roderick Johnson on the left over there. Of course, Dallas Madison won the state championship. Royce Johnson on the right. They win the state championship for Kimball. So a great day for the Dallas area schools. And they got a chance to actually take some photos together. You see the gold medals draped. And this was much like the Lombards last week with Canyon and Wall last week. Of course, Joe Lombard at Canyon. And over at Wall High School, of course, Tate Lombard, the son. And we've seen that kind of combination. Earlier today, we had Goree with us. Goree Johnson, of course, he coached a couple of state champions at Kimball. He is the father of both of those young coaches now who've got another couple of state championships for him.
Yeah, they've had a lot of fun with some state championships today and play great basketball up in Dallas.
I got to show you something. Dallas Madison, the scene after their victory, we'll go to their highlights in a second, but I want to show you what it was like in their locker room. This was kind of the scene as Dallas Madison celebrated their championship, but the enthusiasm, the fact that these players realized that, back-to-back is what they're saying right there, is they beat Yates for the second consecutive year. And having a good time out there, that's what it's all about. Come out here and have some fun. You only live this dream once. Go out there and enjoy it. And back-to-back, that was sort of the theme for the Trojans. And I'll tell you the funny thing, though, watch this right now. Yes, the head coach even getting involved, stepping into the mix, having a little fun there. That, of course, is Roderick Johnson. But let's show you how they got it done. Let's roll those Madison highlights. Class 3A action. Madison was battling Yates, and I tell you, Madison just came out on fire right away. They're led by Jonathan Turner, who had a big game, and also the play of some of their other just long, strong players, the forwards, the guards, the post players. They can really spread it out, and they run that floor well. That was Admon Gilder right there.
Yeah, Yates didn't shoot so well in the first half from the field, and those long rebounds turned into transition opportunities time after time for Madison.
Yeah, and in the end, it was Madison coming out on top as they win the state championship, and just a thrilling victory for them. Yates falls for the second straight year in Class 3A to Madison, and really a similar score to last year, because remember last year, Neil, Madison beat them by 15 points last season. Same two teams battling again this year, and almost the exact same result.
Yeah, they won by 12 this time, but the same second half unfolded.
In the
Madison,
fourth quarter.
yeah, exactly. Long rebounds turned into transition opportunities, and they took advantage of every opportunity.
Yeah, and Greg Wise, the head coach of Yates, he'll be the first to tell you that he loved the enthusiasm from his players, but they just didn't shoot that well. They didn't shoot lights out like they've done earlier in the year. That's a team that has 8 losses, now 9, but they played a really tough national schedule. Teams from Chicago, all over. That is not your typical 3A team. They go out and schedule some tough opponents because they know they need that experience when they take a team like Dallas Madison into a state championship game.
Yeah, they do, and they played fairly well. They just couldn't get the ball to go down early, and it cost them in the long run.
Now, Ponder, your Class 2A champions, they battled Tatum, and wow, Ponder won this game 66-56, but it was Tatum that really got out to the early start. You see Brady Anderson there. He had 14 points. And Logan McCarty, talk about a sensational job. He came in a situation where Chase Harris, their star player, had a concussion, couldn't play. And Logan McCarty, who wears number 12, just stepped up big time, had 14 points. And that was what you need from your team, and Ponder winning at 66-56.
And that's what quality teams do.
And that's the idea. I mean, Ponder comes out here, representing a part of the state that is known for basketball. They come out here, they take on Tatum, East Texas team. Tatum had so many great athletes, and you thought maybe early on, even watching him in the semifinals and now here early on in this game, that was a team that was just, I mean, they could almost pick the score they wanted to win by.
Yeah,
but Ponder stayed with their game.
Yeah, they did. It was all about environment and culture, and they basically made them play Ponder's game in the fourth period, and we see what happens. A half-court game, and Ponder comes away with another state championship.
How about some 1A in action now? Mumford, they're over there by College Station. We talked about their battle of M&Ms. It was Munster and Mumford. And I tell you, how thrilled are you with number 4 for Mumford, LaKendrick Hyson? I mean, 19 points, 11 rebounds, a couple of doubles out here, Mumford in the blue uniforms. I was really impressed with what they were able to do, Neil.
Yeah, they were able to get in their full court press and get after Munster and take the ball to the rim. I mean, just had numbers constantly, got in the passing lanes, and really did on the defensive side of things.
64-57, your final Mumford over Munster. All right, how about Water Valley? I said it earlier, team of the tournament. I mean, they blew out their 2 opponents, and they just do it with a run-and-gun style. You see there Cameron Copley. I heard he's the valedictorian over there at Water Valley. Impressive, and comes out here and has a great performance, scoring 13 points.
Yeah, and more importantly, they shut down Harris for Laneville, who had 30 points last night, 8 threes. They spaced the floor so well. They just do a nice job against the pressure, and when you press them, they make you pay.
Yeah, Dontavius Harris with 9. Hey, let's go ahead and listen what Water Valley's head coach had to say following the game.
We just came in with the expectation of winning it all, and you know, nothing short of gold is what we've taken on here lately. And the kids have been on a mission, and they didn't stop. They didn't let up any, and they were pretty relentless the last several games, and really didn't have a close game throughout the playoffs. Hadn't had a close game in a long time. Kids have really done a great job.
We worked together pretty well, and I think we did our job, and that was one of our 2 goals at the start of the day was to rebound and not turn it over, and we rebounded pretty well. So.
Andy Copley, 112 wins and only 20 losses in the last 4 years. He's with Water Valley. He's the head coach. What a great win for them. Neil, Raphael, thank you so much for being with us. Let's take a quick timeout as we've got halftime action for you here. Forward halftime show. Second half action coming your way. It's the 5A championship. Right now 26-20. And Judson is trailing North Shore. We'll be right back.
Halftime of the UIL Boys 5A State Basketball Championship from the Frank Irwin Center in Austin. The North Shore Mustangs with a 26-20 lead at the half on the Judson Rockets. Craig Way and Jim Haller with you. One thing you took note of, Jim, is that in the first half, Judson turned over the basketball 10 fewer times than DeSoto, and yet finds themselves down 6 points.
Well, but they've done a nice job of working themselves back into this ball game. The key, in my opinion now, they've done a respectable job with just 7 turnovers, but they've got to get the ball inside. David Wacker has 8. He can get double that in the second half if they keep making a concerted effort to get those entry passes to him.
And for North Shore, it was out to that blazing start, and the 2 wings have kind of cooled off a little bit after having the big first quarter, especially Roach.
Yeah, and Jeray Foster, though, leads the way with 9 points for the Mustangs, most of those in transition. What Galena Park North Shore has to make sure they continue to do is use that great team speed in transition and use that to their advantage.
Oh. Well, we take a look at the Ford halftime stats, and as these halftime stats presented by State Farm. And in looking at the numbers, you see that's where Judson has struggled in the field goal percentage department, just 36% from the floor.
Well, the 36% from the floor is a problem, but look, because of the turnovers, they have 8 fewer shot attempts than North Shore. That's very significant in just one half of basketball, Craig.
Rockets did hit all 4 of their free throw attempts, but again, they're down 6 points, but they were down 11. Judson has rallied to within 6 of the North Shore Mustangs. Half of a high school basketball season in 5A still to come right after this. We get ready for the start of the second half of the UIL Boys 5A State Basketball Championship. One half of basketball to go. That's all that's left in the 2013-2014 high school basketball season. And the North Shore Mustangs from the greater Houston area of the Galena Park ISD with a 6-point lead as they inbound to start the second half.
Well, the Judson Rockets did a nice job of coming back in the latter stages of that second quarter to make it a ball game again. Be interesting to see if they can keep their poise and their composure against the harassing defense of the Mustangs.
Brandon Etienne hands it off. Now into the paint, passing on the jumper was DeRay Foster. However, not passing and knocking it down was Brandon Green.
Boy, that's the first three-pointer of the ball game for the Mustangs. If they start knocking down a few of those, it's going to be Katie bar the door for the Rockets, because that puts a whole new dimension into defending them.
Judson does break the press and into the front court. Leistner. Now inside. And what great body control off the glass to score by David Wacker.
Well, Craig, David Wacker only had 6 shot attempts in that first half. In this type of a game, they've got to go to him at every opportunity. Here he gets the ball out of the double team and gets the kiss off the glass. Nice heady play by Wacker. By far the biggest man in the ball game. He's 6'8.5", towers over the tallest Mustang.
And 11 points. The leading scorer on either side, and Judson back within 6. Jalen Hart for North Shore on the dribble. Now from the foul line this time, the jumper not there from Brandon Green, out of bounds. I think it'll be Judson ball. One official thought North Shore, and it will be Rocket basketball. The overrule will give it to Judson. And once more, North Shore bringing the pressure in backcourt.
Well, the key against this press is to come meet every pass.
Judson trying to get the timeout called. And it will be
It'll still be Judson basketball.
It's going to be a foul. It's a foul called on Jalen Hart. His second, as Judson was trying to get the timeout. Hart was called for the foul. There's another look.
Yep, lots of bodies hitting that hardwood on that possession, no doubt.
Rockets break it. Leistner, short. And Roach on the rebound for North Shore.
That was a nice job by the Mustangs cutting Leistner off there. Did not get down on the block where he wanted to go. Nice transition defense.
And Wacker was open there on the baseline. 6-point advantage for the Mustangs.
You can see how Judson switches out front. It's really a zone, but it's same basic rules as a man-to-man switching.
Etienne outside the Hart for 3. Off the mark. Tony Allen with a rebound for the Rockets. Ever harassing the North Shore defense.
Well, Erickson back on the floor after picking up those 2 fouls. He's the key.
Allen fouled on the baseline.
Yeah, good job by Allen with aggressiveness, forcing the Mustangs into another foul.
Brandon Green.
Nice heads-up play by Allen right there.
That's the second foul on Green. Michael Capers on the floor for North Shore now. Rockets trying to get it inside of 6.
Well, Smart throwing it up high to Wacker. Nobody on the Mustang team near that tall.
Judson trying to carefully measure the opportunity, and it's a drive to the hoop, but too much on it for Rayshawn Wynn. Had an opening to the basket, too firm on it, and the Mustangs with a rebound. Back the other way. That shot doesn't fall, and Wacker pulls down the rebound after Roach could not get the shot to drop. Another opportunity to Judson to get it under 6. Allen fouled going up.
Well, you can see Judson Rockets now attacking a little more aggressively. If they can keep piling up these fouls on the Mustangs, it could be a big difference maker. Second straight possession where Allen has taken the ball to the baseline, forcing the contact on the shot. Nice job by Tony Allen.
That's the first miss at the foul line for the Rockets. They'd hit their first 5 free throws as Allen unable to get that to go. The foul was on Jere Foster, his second. Missed them both. And North Shore with the ball. Through traffic, even though it got away. Skip back out. And a nice drive to the hoop by Brandon Etienne.
Boy, there you go. Speed and quickness will do a lot of good things, and he went hard to the bucket.
Some trouble handling the ball in backcourt, and just getting it across the timeline in time was Rayshawn Wynn. Wynn to Wacker. Away from the bucket, and had the ball knocked from his grasp. The scramble, and North Shore will get the timeout.
Well, if you're going to put the ball on the floor against this Mustang ball club, as much as they double team, you've got to do it quick before they get there.
Official timeout, 4:26 to go third quarter, and it's North Shore by 8. The UIL 5A Boys Basketball State Championship is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Enjoy all the best savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By DQ for the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas. DQ just tastes better.
And you had to make a decision. Do you want to come out and force the pressure or not? Big decision to make.
Well, the Rockets all looking to head coach Mike Wacker for the instruction.
Now you can see them matching up now. They're going to try to
still holding the basketball. Coach Wacker drag now. Leistner will come out. Full pressure on the ball. Green on the right side. Threw it up off balance. Missed it, but an offensive rebound and the putback bucket with one.
Boy, a very fortunate result there for the Mustangs. Good heads-up play by Kerwin Roach, their leading scorer on the season, making a huge offensive putback right there. Let's take a look at it again. Good hands, and Roach taking it right back in with his left hand.
Foul on David Wacker, his second. Roach unable to get the three-point play, but he does get the bucket, and it's back to a double-digit lead for the first time since the first half for North Shore, a 10-point advantage.
Well, this is a Converse Judson team that averages 67 points per game. And Craig, they only have 23 here with only 8 minutes and 49 seconds left in the contest. You'd have to say that Galena Park has done a terrific job controlling their offensive attack.
9th turnover forced by North Shore. Mustangs with it. And Jim, you know, one thing, when Judson came out of the zone, it wasn't that hurt him on the last time. It was just a failure to get the rebound off the missed shot.
Didn't get the defensive board, exactly right.
So the Rockets do come out again. Kerwin Roach to Jalen Hart, down to the baseline to Green. Shot not there. Roach just fighting for the ball and lost it out of bounds. And again, Roach is getting position underneath the basket.
That young man is a Skywalker right there. Great hops exhibited by Roach. Good effort, good hustle.
Just a junior, as another season ago. Leistner in trouble. Another turnover. Roach, the lob and the tip in by Foster.
Well, nice job by Foster. Good court awareness right there. But see the double team in the backcourt creates all kinds of problems.
A foul finally in the backcourt. That one on Capers.
Well, that's the 15th foul on North Shore.
North Shore has really turned up the heat here in the third quarter defensively. Now the Rockets, as the pressure drops off a little bit, have Rayshawn Wynn on the dribble. Wynn fouled, shot no good, but Wynn will get to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, did a good job getting the ball into the paint there, giving the big guys a chance for the offensive putback. You know, if you watch this very closely, David Wacker at 6'8.5" is being guarded by a 6'3" player, by Roach. They've got to find a way to get the ball in there, get it out of those double teams where they can make the pass to him inside.
Capers, who picked up his second foul, checks out. Jalen Hart back on. Wynn hits both free throws, and the Rockets down 10.
Julian Erickson.
Well, David Wacker had 8 at the half, only has 3 here in the second half of action. Got the quick basket right after the half, but has not touched it often enough.
The Rockets again forced to come out and apply some pressure, down 10 here late in the third quarter. And Mike Wacker, the head coach, directing traffic.
Well, it's a tough situation. They got the big guys at 6'7" and 6'9". That's an advantage, but they can't force it defensively. Mustangs too quick.
And quickness right down to the baseline, but the shot is off the mark by Foster. So a chance to get it under double digits. If they can get the ball into the front court, another turnover. This time, Allen had it forced from his grasp. Brandon Green on the defense.
Now that's the 11th turnover now for Converse Judson. Of course, that pales in comparison to the 26 we saw last night by DeSoto, who most people thought would probably be in this championship game.
Brandon Green working against Leistner, nearly lost it, and that's going to be a foul, I think, against Leistner. So Leistner picks up his second.
Now, Leistner's done a terrific job on the boards, leading in the game with 9 caroms. Jeray Foster has 8 for the Mustangs.
So North Shore will inbound on the baseline, under a minute to go in the quarter, and a 10-point advantage. And there's a cut, I believe, on David Wacker, and he's going to have to come to the bench and get it bandaged. And in fact, Mike Wacker is going to use a timeout and try to get that cut bandaged because he wants David Wacker.
Well, he's got to have him
on
on the floor, no doubt about it.
Looks like the left hand, maybe a finger of the left hand for David Wacker. So they'll patch that up here as Judson calls the timeout. And down 10 points here in the third quarter. And again, they've made enough defensive plays where you think they could hang around this, but they've only made 8 shots from the floor in the entire ball game.
Well, that's the good part. You've got to give the Mustangs credit for keeping them uncomfortable. The Converse Judson Rockets just cannot get any consistency. It's tough. I'm very shocked that this is this low scoring of a ball game. I thought Galena Park North Shore would play at a much faster pace, but as soon as they got that lead, they've been very smart in making sure that they do not force anything to disrupt that advantage.
Well, Jim, one thing we know for sure is that North Shore is perfectly comfortable and capable of playing at virtually any speed.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And they hang their hat on their defensive expertise. to start and finish ball games, and that's what's led them to this comfortable margin here with only 56 ticks to go in the third quarter.
Sixth and final state championship game of the day. It started at 8:30 this morning. Mumford beating Munster to win the 1A D1 title. The game right before this one, the 1A Division II championship, going to Water Valley over Laneville. Ponder won the 2A crown over Tatum. 3A state championship to Madison High School of Dallas, beating Houston Yates. Kimball High of Dallas claiming the 4A crown, beating Amarillo. And so now it's down to just the 5A state championship.
Well, quite an achievement for the Dallas Independent School District. 2 state championships won here this year. Folks in that administration need to be very proud.
Back it out the dribble. Pass going to Brandon Green.
Well, very smart. They get that double team. They break somebody into the high post area to relieve pressure.
Now driving through traffic. What a dish. Underneath, but the shot off the mark. And Judson will have the final opportunity, except it's a turnover. And back in for the bucket, Jeray Foster.
Boy, what quick hands right there. Very smart play. That's the time most teams will relax, and he took advantage of it. Well, let's watch this. Watch the quick hands. Well, now here we're going to see the missed attempt on the field goal. But watch him come right back in here right now and just pluck the ball away from Hayes. Reached across with the right hand, came back and got it with the left.
Matching North Shore's largest lead of the night, up 12 with just 22 seconds to go third quarter.
Well, you can see the Judson Rocket fans certainly disappointed right now, but they have had a lot to be proud of during the course of the season. You come into the state tournament with a 36-1 record, you've got something that a lot of teams would love to just dream about having.
And by and large, the Rockets have won handily this season in pretty easy fashion, but they've had to come back a couple of times. They've had a couple of close ball games, so at least they know that they're capable of doing it, and they still have a quarter to go, plus the 22 seconds here. But Jim, I think it's all about staying away from the turnovers, because 12 Rocket turnovers have resulted in 14 North Shore points.
Yeah, and the thing that I keep going back to this. Now, Converse Judson has 22 field goal attempts in the game to 40 for North Shore. That is a huge disparity, and you don't overcome that.
Because even if you don't give up points off of a turnover, it's denying you an offensive opportunity.
You got it.
And Judson better hurry into the front court, but it's going to be another turnover. Yep, North Shore gets it back. Rockets couldn't
smart
inbound it.
strategy coming out of that timeout by Coach David Green, forcing the pressure once more.
Shot put up, that one short, but a rebound, and the follow is there for Brandon Etienne.
Well, there's that speed and quickness. There's just no replacement for it, and it's hard to adjust. You can't replicate that in practice to prepare for it.
North Shore finishes the third quarter on a 10-2 run, and the Mustangs are 8 minutes away from their first ever 5A state basketball championship. They lead by 14 at the end of 3. We welcome you back to the Frank Erwin Center in Austin, the capital city. Craig Way and Jim Haller with you. One more quarter of high school basketball in the state of Texas, and it's Galena Park North Shore with a 14-point lead on the Converse Judson Rockets.
Yeah, North Shore won the battle of the third quarter, 13-5, Craig. That was a big, big margin.
There's a big bucket for Judson, goaltending on a 3-point shot by Julian Erickson. His first bucket of the night.
Well, and that was a 6'3" youngster that went up and got that basketball above the rim. That's something I don't know that I've ever seen that, goaltending on a 3-point shot.
That's pretty rare. Judson within 11. At least it's a good start to the fourth quarter for them, but North Shore looking to fight right back.
Well, you had to have some hops right there. A 6'3" guy going up and getting goaltending on a 3 effort. Wow.
David Green perhaps during that end of third quarter break telling his team to be a little more patient with the ball, but driving to the hoop and scoring is Brandon Green.
Boy, great speed and quickness. How about that explosiveness to the rack right there?
They continue the pressure defense. Ball tipped out of bounds, and the Rockets will inbound at midcourt.
Well, that 13-5 advantage in the third quarter was something Judson could just not allow to happen. This is going to be a huge hole to pull out of now with just 7 minutes left to go in the ball game. Been a great defensive performance so far by North Shore.
Wacker well away from the bucket, though. That's not where they normally like to have him. The three-pointer. That one's there. Erickson, another three.
Yeah, Erickson hit 2 of those last night from the exact same spot. That's a big bucket confidence-wise for the Judson Rockets.
David Green using the timeout. He'll take the timeout here to talk about it. 6:45 to go in the boys 5A state championship. It's North Shore by 10. The UIL Boys 5A State Basketball Championship is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Enjoy all the best savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By DQ, for the best tasting treats, eats, and drinks in Texas, DQ just tastes better. And by State Farm. Visit texas.statefarm.com to get to a better state. Judson Rockets trying to get to that better state. They were down 14. They pulled to within 10. A couple of early three-pointers by Julian Erickson, and that's going to be a backcourt violation and out of bounds against North Shore. And Judson perhaps sensing a little life here, Jim.
Craig, that's unbelievable. That's only the second turnover of the ball game for North Shore. An absolutely fantastic floor game being played by them here tonight. But give Judson credit forcing that turnover.
Rockets try to get it under double digits now.
Well, the best thing the Rockets have done is hit 4 out of 9 3-point baskets. They're going to have to hit some more if they want to come out of this hole.
Allen missed that one. And the Mustangs quickly down the floor. Inside. Wacker got a piece of it, however. And a reach-in foul called. And that's going to go on North Shore.
Yeah, that's obviously the Rockets are in a 1-and-1 situation on the other end.
They're going to get the foul on Kerwin Roach. Only his first, but as you mentioned, Jim, the bonus. And Leicester a chance to capitalize.
Well, only 2 team fouls this half on Judson, so they're in good shape to play aggressive defensively. North Shore was 7.
Leicester missed the front end of the 1-and-1, however, and North Shore with a rebound. Opportunity unrealized there for the Rockets.
Boy, this is a tough matchup for Leishner out front against the super quick Brandon Green, who's exploded to the bucket a couple of times.
Great pass inside, but the shot was missed, and then they'll get it over the back foul. That one, I believe, is going to be on Wacker. David will pick up his third.
Boy, Brandon Green is so quick. He just blows by Leistner when he needs to.
Dre Foster hit his only free throw early in the ball game to complete a three-point play. He'll shoot 2 here.
That's only the 5th free throw of the ball game for the Mustangs. Now 3 out of 5.
Missed the second. Leistner the rebound, and the Rockets with possession. Nearly lost it. Roach managed to get it around. Roach did. Wacker. Allen. And out front to Rayshawn Wynn. Wynn lost the ball.
Well, you see that great on-ball pressure right there on the part of Jalen Hart for the Mustangs. Just harassing the Judson Rockets. They just cannot get comfortable.
Green pulls the ball back out. Judson, no choice. They've got to put pressure on the ball, down 11 here, and just over 5 minutes to go. That should be a backcourt violation. It is, and it'll go to Judson.
Nice job by the Rockets of turnabout's fair play, doing good job double teaming out here near midcourt.
They were able to force the turnover, but can the Rockets capitalize?
Well, they're going to have to hit some more threes. They've shot 4 out of 9. They need to free themselves up to get those open shots.
Leistner can't get it to fall. Ball loose, and coming away with it is Hart, who's fouled. That was a fortuitous foul.
Yeah, because that's still just the third team foul, or we have fourth team foul now on Judson.
Erickson picks up his third, but only the 14 foul. Otherwise, North Shore may have had a breakaway, a lay-in. And nearly a steal by Rayshawn Wynn. Wynn inside, Foster shot no good, but that's going to be the fourth foul on David Wacker.
Well, and that's a great job of attacking the rack that time by the Mustangs. So quick, so fast. I just keep repeating that, but they know how to use their speed and quickness. Very much under control.
Foster, 2 out of 3 from the line. Leading scorer in the basketball game with 15 points. Second one good. Foster averages 13 per game at 12 last night and yesterday in the win over DeSoto. The pressure still there by North Shore. And the Rockets struggling to break through, and that'll be a 10-second violation.
Oh, what a great job right there, moving their feet so quickly. Greg, they do it without doing a lot of reaching. They do it with quick footwork, just remarkable. Well, David Green's jumping up over there on the side. Coach Green trying to get his first state championship after getting 3 other teams here to the state tournament in his career.
Great move to the bucket by Brandon Green. And it's now a 15-point margin. Rockets really struggling against the
pressure.
pressure.
It's just relentless pressure by the Mustangs of Galena Park North Shore.
Green with that driving basket, and the steal taken away by Roach.
See, if you don't come meet every pass and it's across the court, you have no chance. Great job by Roach just breaking into that passing lane.
Full-scale pressure forcing the turnovers and the transition buckets. 16 turnovers for the Rockets. And 20 points off the turnovers for North Shore.
Nice post-to-post pass right there. Wacker to Leistner.
His first points of the second half. Now in the corner. And David Green says pull it back out now. Less than half of the quarter to go. And driving in, unable to finish was Hart. Rockets with it, but down 15, and time grows short. Foul there by Jalen Hart.
Well, that wasn't a smart play by Jalen Hart. The clock is their best friend. 15-point advantage with 3:25 to go. Coach David Green not happy with that action.
Told Jalen Hart, look at the clock, is what he told him. Mike Wacker knows time is running out for his ball club. Tony Allen on the line. He had 2 early threes and has not scored since. Front end of the 1-and-1 good.
Well, this is the Converse Judson Ball Club, Craig, that set a new school record this year for victories. 37 coming into this ball game.
And a timeout called by David Green. I think this is now to say 3:25 to go in the ball game.
No more fouls, guys. No more fouls.
And no more hasty moves to the bucket, up 13 points with 3:25 to go.
You're a good coach, Craig. You've been around, man. You've been around.
I've just been around coaches long enough to know that it's safer on this side of the bench than the
You're
other side there.
absolutely right. But right now, the best friend they have is that clock. You got to let it run. Don't stop it with fouls or silly shots.
And on the other side, for Judson, Mike Wacker telling his team they've got to press, they've got to force turnovers, and they're going to have to make shots. You think about what Mike Wacker has done in all the years at the helm of the Judson program, has had him in the state tournament twice, had him here in the championship round 21 years ago, back in 1993, when they lost to Fort Worth Dunbar, the immortal Robert Hughes getting his first ever 5A state title with Charles Spider Smith. They won that title then by 10. Had them back in the Final Four, where they lost in double overtime to TJ Ford, Daniel Ewing, who made a late steal,
and Kenny Taylor.
And
What
Kenny
a team
Taylor
that was.
in 2001 in the state semifinal round. And Willow Ridge out of the Houston area went on to make it back-to-back titles, where they went 75-1 over 2 seasons.
Well, it's pretty phenomenal what Mike Wacker's done in 24 seasons, averaged 27 victories per year. So I'm sure this is a heartbreaker for him, but his team has played hard. They just got out quick.
Judson knows they're going to have to start fouling now. They had one to give. And with 3:22 to go and time growing short, they may have to foul again to start putting them on the line for 1-and-1s, Jim, just to see if they can get lucky and hope the Mustangs miss a front end. Jalen Hart pulls it out.
Yeah, you can see the instruction. Whatever you do, just keep passing the basketball.
Well, Brandon Green is fouled, and he'll go to the line. That is the 17th foul, and the foul is on Tony Allen.
And Brandon Green's done a nice job of alleviating those traps from Converse Judson out front. 7 points on 3 field goals, 1 free throw. One of many real speedsters on this Mustang ball club.
Green, the front end of the 1-and-1. Converts. Brandon, 6'2" senior guard, only scored 2 points yesterday in the win over DeSoto, but has definitely had an impact on this with his defense and also with the offense with 8 points, although he misses the free throw there. Wacker the rebound. And Judson down 14 and only 3 minutes remaining. Pressure still on the ball so as not to allow the Rockets to get a clean look. And that's exactly what I meant by clean look. That's an off-balance run, but Julian Erickson was bailed out by the North Shore foul.
Well, when they are able to penetrate like that and North Shore converges, the only chance they've got now is to kick it out for some 3-point shots. And they've done a nice job. 4 out of 11 from 3-point range is a very respectable figure.
Win with the first of 2. Chad Flowers back on, replacing David Wacker. That's defense for offense.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. Get a little more quickness on the floor in the trapping situations.
12-point ball game. And we'll see if the Rockets foul again. Yep. That'll be on Rayshawn Wynn, and I think that's the other reason for not having David Wacker on the floor.
Yeah, he's got 4 fouls already. If they do have a chance to get back in the game, they've got to have him available.
And he'll
as
check
expected.
back in.
Yep, offense for defense.
Number 33, David Wacker. Shooting the 1-and-1, Brandon.
Well, Green hit 1 out of 2 his last time at the line. The front end. No good this time, and Wacker with a rebound. But can the Rockets cut into this 12-point deficit? They're having trouble enough getting the ball into the front court, and they throw it away.
Well, that's just the relentless pressure. They never give up, but that's tough. 17 turnovers now for the Judson Rockets.
And again, North Shore more than content to just run the clock. Judson's going to be forced to foul if they can't create a turnover. There is one more 1-and-1 situation available to the Rockets.
Well, this is a game that Converse Judson is not made to play in. Just cannot match that quickness of the Mustangs.
Rayshawn Wynn fouls Jalen Hart. Hart had 4 early points, hasn't scored since, had 11 yesterday in the win over DeSoto in the semifinals. And a chance to capitalize here. This is the last 1-and-1 situation of the night. And missed the front end. But again, Judson's had enough trouble just trying to get the ball into shooting position.
They just don't give them those open looks on the three-point area.
There's Leistner to try it. Short. And the rebound to North Shore with a foul in the backcourt. Now the Mustangs are shooting 2 free throws the rest of the game.
Well, when you get to that automatic 2 free throw spot, it's pretty tough to come back, especially when you're down 12 with 1:49 to go.
Wynn picks up his 4th. And now 2 for Brandon Green. Green 1 out of 3 from the line. And missed that one.
Well, I was just going to say he could become the 3rd Mustang to go into double figures if he had made both free throws right here. Ball club now 6 out of 12.
Missed both. Wacker the rebound. The biggest problem for Judson's getting a clean look at the basket. To be able to shoot something that wasn't forced. Hayes somehow rattles that one in a timeout called by Judson. It gets him inside of double digits, pulls them within 9 with 1:34 to go.
It's always the end result that counts, Craig. The banker from threes, you got to take them any way you can get them. That's 5 3-point buckets now for the Rockets.
Devin Blair, a sophomore guard, will check back. It will check in for the first time, and Chad Flowers will check back in. And I would imagine again, A, for defense for Mike Wacker trying to create a turnover, and then B, failing that a quick foul because they were down 17 a moment ago at 48-31. So they've been on a 9-1 run just to get it back to within 9.
Well, and that 9-1 run is possible because of all the missed free throws by the Mustangs of North Shore. That's how things can happen in the crazy game of basketball. You don't take advantage of the opportunities, it creates problems.
North Shore just 6 out of 14 from the foul line. And Judson obviously will be forced to foul if they can't create a turnover on the inbounds.
Yeah, they're just 2 out of 10 in the second half from the free throw line. They were 4 out of 4 at the half, so.
It'll be inbounded against the pressure and the immediate foul. Allen fouling Kerwin Roach.
Number 20, Tony Allen, his 2nd.
Allen picks up his 2nd. 6 out of 14 from the line are the Mustangs, and now it's Kerwin Roach's turn. Roach 1 out of 2 from the line tonight. Leading scorer this season for North Shore, averaging 16 points per game, and has 10 tonight. No problem on the first one. Now Wacker back on the floor.
Well, Roach now with 12 points, even dozen in the contest. He's played a terrific game. His defense was outstanding on David Wacker, giving him only 3 points here in the second half.
5 of the quarter, 13 in the ball game for Roach. And Judson down 11 again. And turning it over again. Underneath, Roach with the exclamation point. Allen inside, Leistner fouled hard.
Well, nice break by Leistner down the paint. Nice job moving without the basketball. Good passing, but it may be too little too late here. The minute 13 seconds to go, down by 13. Nice job that time of attacking that trapping defense.
Foster's 4th personal foul. Leistner shooting 2. 2 out of 3 from the line as Leistner make it 2 of 4 as he can't get the first to fall.
Leistner averages 15 per game, Craig. Only has 6 here tonight.
You mentioned earlier he'll be a New Hampshire Wildcat next season, playing in the America East Conference. And I would imagine that they can use him in Durham, Massachusetts, in Durham, New Hampshire. They had a tough season this year up there, did New Hampshire, and they'll certainly welcome him next year. One out of 2 for Leistner. 12-point advantage and a foul as Green is bumped into the side, and he'll have free throws to come.
Well, this is turning into a free throw marathon, no doubt about it. This last quarter of this game has lasted longer than the second and third quarters combined.
Stepping up to the line, shooting 2.
David Green now taking a seat, just telling his team to be confident, have confidence on the foul line. Brandon Green again with that opportunity to go into double figures if he can hit both, but unable to convert the first.
Number 55, Kendall Hayes, and number 33, David Wacker.
One more now for Brandon Green. North Shore closing in on the school's first ever state basketball championship. Won a football crown back in 2003. 5A Division I.
Well, Randy Weiser, who's now the athletic director at Waco Midway, was the coach of the Galena Park North Shore the last time they played here in the state tournament.
3-pointer. That one not there for Wacker. And a foul in the backcourt with under a minute to go.
And the personal number 20.
Fouls on Allen.
His
third. Mike Wacker's done a good job spreading the fouls out and amongst all his players, keeping them still eligible on the floor, but the North Shore fans starting to stand and cheer, feeling that state championship is at hand, and Green converts the first. Green now in double figures. You mentioned earlier, Jim, now 3 Mustangs in double figure scoring. 8 in the quarter for Brandon Green, and back to a 15-point margin. Allen unable to get it to go. Wacker with a rebound. Follow 3 off the mark by Erickson. Rebound North Shore, and here's the breakaway, and they'll pull it in. Hart missed the slam dunk. However, it'll go out of bounds to Judson.
Well, nice teamwork gesture there on the part of Kevin Roach.
Well, David Green is going to pull out his key leaders who have led the way toward this state title. The slam dunk, one of the few things that hasn't gone right tonight for North Shore. Otherwise, they have been plenty good enough to win the school's first state basketball title. Wacker, perhaps one final bucket in his high school career as he scores with 31 seconds to go.
Well, nice quick move by Wacker there. As you said, that'd probably be the last points of his career in Judson High School. That gives him 13 for the ball game, leading the way for the Rockets. Just his 5th points of the second half. Big difference in this game, Craig, came in the third quarter. It was a 6-point game at the half. North Shore outscored Judson 13-5 in that critical 8-minute period, and in all essence, that was the ball game.
Well, North Shore on the verge of claiming that title. Like we said, it'll be disappointing for Judson, but you pointed out in the 24 years Mike Wacker has been at Judson, what a tremendous job he's done.
When you average 27 wins a year, you've got to be an excellent basketball coach, and they play in a tough district.
And my broadcast partner has something in common with Mike Wacker. They were on the floor the night in Waco that Mike had that awful knee injury when Texas was undefeated, number 5 in the country, and it was Jim Haller's Baylor Bears.
Well, and
get the number
certainly I'll
9.
promise you, I did not feel good about that victory because I had such great respect for Mike Wacker and his family after trying hard to recruit him. I knew the young man, and that just tore my heart up to see him writhing in pain out there.
He's a great comeback story after that tragic knee injury, fought back to finish his collegiate career. Three-pointer off the mark. And North Shore about to get it. A foul here in the waning seconds, and it'll give Michael Capers a chance to score in a state championship game.
Well, a very large crowd behind us from North Shore High School traveled all the way from Houston up here. Three sections full on the lower level and 2 sections up at the top. So great support for both these teams here tonight.
One of the larger student bodies in the greater Houston area. That one rattled out for Capers.
Well, you can see David Green across the way there with a big smile on his face, just seconds away from getting his first state championship, not only for the high school, but for him.
And David Wacker gets final applause from the Judson faithful as his dad, Mike, takes him out. Capers with the free throw. You can say he scored in a state championship game. Waning seconds. That one's good by Devin Blair, but it's going to be the North Shore Mustangs who will win the school's first ever 5A state basketball championship.
Well, it was a great defensive performance, Craig, for a bunch of terrific athletes, holding Converse Judson to only 45 points here tonight, 22 below their season average.
And it was the defense, the pressure of the defense that just ultimately broke down Judson's offense.
Well, the Mustangs used their athleticism perfectly. Great speed, great quickness, leads to those trapping opportunities on defense, and they just never let their opponent get comfortable or get in a rhythm.
Talked about David Green and all the success he's had in bringing teams to Austin. Now he gets to celebrate a state championship as the head coach of the Mustangs.
Well, he's been here with Fort Bend, Hightower, Kuntz, and Beaumont Central here, finally getting that coveted crown that everybody strives to achieve.
It's North Shore, the 5A state basketball champions of Texas, 57-45 over Judson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the UIL
There's a brand new state high school basketball champion of Texas. A first time ever state champion here tonight on the floor of the Irwin Center. It's the Galena Park North Shore Mustangs, and their head coach David Green is with our Jeff Power.
Hey, back in 1991, David Green, this North Shore team knocked on the door. In 97, they beat on the door, and now for the first time they win a state championship. How does that feel for you?
It's awesome. It's awesome because I'm so proud of my kids. From day one, they said we could make it to Austin and win it. And we didn't just want to come here just to play a ball game. We came here to win the state championship. We said it from day one. That's what the kids did.
I want to talk about your guard play. You played with Joe Dumars over at McNeese State. Talk about the guard play for your guys. Scrappy, they make plays, transition turns into points.
Anytime you have good guards, you can win. You can win state championship if you got good guards that can make things happen. We have more than two. We have about 4 or 5 guards that can really take you off the dribble and make plays. And you can make plays. You got a chance to do anything.
What won this game was your defense. Your defense was so sensational. Talk about that.
Well, that's what we were focused on defense first part of the year. We said offense win games, but defense win championships. And our defense been our stapler all year long. And they came here to Austin and showed everybody that if you get after it on defense, good things will happen for your team.
How about the 25 boards? That certainly didn't hurt.
Hey, I'll take it any day of the week. I'm so proud of my kids.
Look back there real quick and look at those guys celebrating. This means a lot to North Shore. Give me your thoughts about what this means. Hey, it's not just football, it's basketball too.
Exactly. We have a good, all our programs are good at North Shore. I just feel like it's our time, and we're just going to keep on working hard because we know at North Shore expectations are high, and we're going to continue to make it happen.
David Green, 57-45 winners. Back to you, Craig.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff Power. David Green getting it done in tremendous fashion. Like we said, Jim Haller, the defense. forcing 18 turnovers that led to 22 points.
Well, from start to finish, that is what this Mustang Ball Club has taken more pride and excelled in. They are terrific. They're relentless with their defensive pressure. They do as good a job of rotating out of traps as any high school team I've ever seen. Just very, very excellent in what they do.
Mustangs celebrating, and what a job turned in by all of them, but Jeray Foster perhaps doing it more than anybody else, and I think he'll be crowned as the player of the game. And you look at the play of the game presented by DQ, and it is the defense all night long for the Mustangs.
Well, Roach right there making the quick steal with the great hands and quick feet. Just a terrific talent. Very quick. Jeray Foster, the player of the game, double-double, 16 points and 10 rebounds. Just a great effort.
Yep. Jeray Foster, the Milton Ford Tough player of the game, and you saw the DQ play of the game there with the steal. Emblematic defense. In a day and age when basketball is in, there's still a place for defense and rebounding.
Well, and you heard Coach Green say that's what they started working on from day one. From talking to him earlier, they spend 65% of their time on defense. It showed here tonight and led to their first ever state championship.
35-3, the North Shore Mustangs claiming the school's first ever 5A state basketball championship, and it's a 12-point win over the Judson Rockets of San Antonio. Great moments here tonight. Glad to have you with us this evening as Galena Park North Shore wins a state basketball championship. It's like Jeff Power said, football, yeah, it's known for football there, but now they have a state basketball title.
Well, and this is something the kids, the coaches, the fans will remember forever. A terrific achievement.
So the final score, Galena Park North Shore 57 and Converse Judson 45. For my partner Jim Hallard, for our entire crew, I'm Craig Way. Thanks for joining us, and good night from Austin.